Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
Lifts, elevators. You know, the convenient short-distance transporters that take us up or down. Most of us wouldn't have given them much thought, least of which the stories that lie behind the elevator industry. But there is one story you might consider when you next take a lift to your vertical destination. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Milan Debelak's story is one of generational growth, dedication, skill, innovative thinking and the business smarts needed to grow the company Liftronic from its infancy in 1985 to now, Australia's largest independent Australian-owned lift company. These days, Liftronic's custom-made lifts and escalators are carrying us up and down buildings and infrastructure across the country. And while Milan comes from immigrant parents, his company today wears both the Australia-owned and Australia-made badges, and that's something Milan is very proud about. His story begins in Egypt, where Milan's great-uncle and grandfather started a small lift company. Milan's father took over, and by the 1960s, the family had arrived in Australia, with little money, but with a whole heap of skills in the art of lift making. And in 1985, Milan took everything he'd learned, and with his business partner Kevin Addison, he co-founded Liftronic. Its reputation was strong, customers were calling, the service range expanded. But wait, let's hear from Milan himself about how the business took off. Heather Dawson asks Milan to take us back to the origins of Liftronic a long time ago.
Over 100 years ago now, my grandfather, Milan Debelak Sr., started a lift business in Egypt. And since then we've had 4 generations in the industry. And after working in the industry for a number of lift companies, I and my business partner decided to start Liftronic in 1985. We started very modestly. We only wanted to start as a maintenance company, but we had so many inquiries from old customers. Having my grandfather and my father in the business, the Debelak name had a reputation. So we were contacted by old customers and new ones wanting an alternate supply to the multinationals that were dominating the industry.
Did you think back then that you would be running now the largest Australian-owned lift company today?
Not really. We just concentrated on trying to provide a high-quality product and personalised service, and thought we would be in the mix in the lift industry, but not leading the charge of Australian companies in our industry.
Well, your company creates every type of lift or elevator for commercial and residential markets. Could you give us an idea of the types of lifts you're designing and installing these days?
Well, we do all types of vertical transportation, from very standard lifts in home units or offices to very specialised infrastructure for railway stations, hospitals, modernisations of our own lifts and third-party lifts. And the more interesting lifts are the ones that tick our boxes because of the type of business we've developed with strong in-house engineering.
Is there one area of growth that's bigger than the others?
I would have to say infrastructure, modernisation and maintenance are the main drivers of the business at the moment.
What's been the trickiest lift you've had to design or install?
There's been a couple. We've done 3 very specialised lifts for the Opera House with a very high criteria. We do a lot of the infrastructure lifts for the Eastern Seaboard railways, and each of those have very high specifications, and they are tricky, but compliance for us is relatively straightforward once we get our head around the specification.
Lifts, to me, seem such a specialised area of business, and I imagine you've got a very smart team of, designers and engineers and all the affiliated people involved in installation and service. Is it a challenge for you to find the best people or partners for your business?
Oh, look, it's a challenge. There are a lot of people operating within the industry, and it's taken us many years to pull together the team we have. We've invested a lot of time and effort and resources in developing our teams, whether they're installation, maintenance, or the engineering or sales side, and having the right team. And thankfully, we have very long-term retention. So our team can address just about any challenge that there is in VT, vertical transportation.
How many people do you have working for you now, Milan?
We've got about 160 direct employees, and we utilise 30 or 40 contractors, subcontractors at any time. We've worked in all the states, but the bulk of the market is, 95% of the market is across the eastern states, and our 4 branches across those states cover that market off.
Now, I imagine that much has changed in the world of lifts since 1985. So how important is the focus on innovation, Milan, and how do you keep ahead of the pack in terms of innovation?
Well, it is extremely important. Thankfully, due to our in-house engineering and some very, very good supply partners from overseas, we're always pushing each other on the innovation side, especially in remote monitoring now and IoT, Internet of Things. The only area I might be cautious of is having that innovation and having all these new facilities and resources. You can't replace the eyes and ears on the ground installing and maintaining the lifts and hearing and seeing what is going on. So innovation is a great thing, but it must be coupled with real people, real time, with real training.
Now, Liftronic's a proudly Australian company. So what value do you place on wearing the Australia Made badge, Milan, and how good is it for business?
Well, we place a very high value on it. We are an Australian company. All our taxes, all our investments are done in Australia. So we feel that we're a great contributor to society as well as our employee base. I can't say that potentially our customers place that much importance on it. To design, develop and manufacture in Australia, and we do have a number of Australian-made products certified, there is a cost implication. But sometimes people just want cheapest price. But on the other hand, we've got some very good clients that realise the quality and life cycle of well-made, locally designed and manufactured equipment.
Now, has COVID presented challenges, or perhaps even opportunities for your business?
Yes, definitely it's presented both. Challenges have been mainly logistical, though due to the fact that we have a great flexibility in supply with our recognised partners, we can source from different parts of the world. And that has produced some real opportunities where we can deliver product where some of our competitors may have struggled. So COVID was also very much a bonding exercise for our team. They saw it as a challenge, as a company challenge and a personal challenge. And I must say that they reacted and performed extremely well during very difficult times.
Well, looking to the future, hopefully with COVID behind us, will you continue to grow, and if so, where?
Fingers crossed. Growth is, we don't need to grow just for the sake of growth. For us, our strategy is to provide the best value product of the highest quality we can. So maybe we don't grow the business in leaps and bounds, and we're not pressured to by the shareholders, which are all still running in the business since inception. The focus for us is to strengthen the business, and really the growth is for us to be the go-to lift company. When a client has an issue, they say, let's go to Liftronic, they'll find the solution for us.
Well, Milan, just summing up, the secrets to your success, such a terrific business that you're running there, what would be those secrets of success?
A lot of hard work, a great team, and I must really press on that side of it, developing the team and having that support base, the expertise, the heritage from predominantly my father, my business partner, has given us that start from the beginning and for the continuation of the business. And without that support base and having that right team and the right product, of course, I think it's very hard to be successful in this industry.
That was Liftronic Managing Director Milan Debelak. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.